I love to hunt whitetails, and some years I just don't get to do it very much. But this year, I was gonna do a couple states, and I was gonna start out in Illinois and then head to Kansas. Well, we got into my buddy Larry's super late in Illinois. I've harvested some beautiful bucks with Larry. I've had some great hunts out there. He's a super friend of mine, and he's a great guy. Well, him and his wife Cheryl just opened their home to us, even though we rolled in around midnight. Well, the next morning we were up early, and the plan was Larry was gonna go hunt to our right, and I was gonna hunt out of a big box blind. Basically, it's got sliding windows. It's like a little house that looks out over Larry's property. The main thing I was gonna do that morning was look out across the property, see if I saw any deer movement, any patterns, and see where I wanted to hang some Ameristep tree stands later on in the day. So that's really what we had planned for. It wasn't really a hunt, but I was bringing my bow, and I was gonna bring my Montana decoy.
Well, we've got a little bit until it gets light yet. My buddy Larry's sitting over not far from us. He's about 70 yards from us in a blind. And hopefully something will cruise by. He's got some corn and some agriculture planted. So when it gets light, we're hoping that we see some deer out in the field early. And if we see where they're leaving the field, that's probably what we're trying to set up.
I was trying out a brand new prototype Montana decoy. They call it their peeing doe decoy. So I set it out in front of this box blind and we crawled into it. And I thought, well, let's just see if we see anything. And I doubt we'll have anything react to the decoy because we're pretty far away from like the fields, but we'll just see what happens.
Larry's been hunting. All the neighbors have been hunting quite a bit, so there's been quite a bit of pressure. But because we're high and elevated, we can see quite a ways, so if there's any deer movement, we should be able to spot it from up here.
So we're sitting there and we're glassing and looking around the field, and boom, we spot a deer out in front of us. It's a couple hundred yards away and it's a small buck. And he comes out of this brush line and he looks around and you can see him look right at the decoy, and here he comes. I'm excited. I'm like, holy cow, this deer's coming. I hadn't even really thought about trying to shoot out of this box. So I grab my recurve and I'm trying to figure out, man, can I even shoot out of this thing? And we've got the window open and this deer comes running right up to the decoy. And what's funny is as he runs up to the decoy, it's almost like he ignores it. And all of a sudden he realizes it's there again and he locks up and he's staring at the decoy and he turns completely around. He's looking at the decoy, gives me the shot, and I shoot him. The arrow goes right through the front of his chest. This buck takes off, but I know there's no way he's gonna hold that easted axis. He goes about 40 yards and piles up.
He's down. That is awesome. Oh yeah. First morning in Illinois with my buddy Larry, I set up my Montana peeing doe decoy. That buck came in right to it. I mean, he was going past it. I gave him a little bleat like me. He was like, oh my gosh, there's a doe right there. He came right to it. I drew back. I was shaking a little. Ooh, pew, whack, right in his shoulder. Took out. I was shooting an axis arrow. It's an axis arrow. Muzzy Phantom blew through his shoulder. You could see it just went totally through his shoulder, through his chest, and put him down right there. Check it out. Here's the decoy right there.
I'm pretty excited because we arrived in Illinois at midnight. It's only 7:30 in the morning and we already have a beautiful deer down. Is it the biggest deer in Illinois? Heck no. But was it awesome that it came running right up to our decoy? The only deer we saw came running right in front of the decoy and I shot it with a recurve? Yeah, that pretty much made it a trophy to me.
I can't believe that. Usually you have to work a little bit more for a deer. The setup, that's the only deer we've seen. That tells you how cool that decoy works. That's the first deer we've seen. The first deer that saw the decoy ran up to it. Let's go. I want to see my deer. I'm not saying he's a booner or anything, but I'm tickled by it.
Here's the beautiful buck I shot
He's got 3 on one side. Check that out. 1, 2, 3. He's got 2 on this side. This is gonna be a good eating deer, young buck, and he was totally duped by that decoy. Look at the exit right here. Look at the exit. Here's his leg right here. The exit came out right here. I bet we got heart. Just out of curiosity, I have a lot of people that ask sometimes, man, you know, we'd love to see what you hit, what your arrow goes through. So when I open this deer up, we'll show what we got. I'm guessing we got the heart. We definitely got the lungs. You can see all the blood coming out the nose and the mouth. That's indicative of a good lung shot. Look at that. I am so excited. Just an absolutely beautiful morning here in Illinois.
Well, I decided, heck, we got a beautiful deer in Illinois. Why push our luck? Let's go ahead and load up and head to Kansas. Well, we drove to Kansas to meet up with my buddy Tracy, who owns Wild Eye Outfitters. I was also meeting with my buddy Jonathan, who was there to hunt with me that week. We've hunted together before, and we've always had a lot of fun.
Well, just got off the phone with Tracy. We're almost there. Jonathan just beat me there, so he's a little bit ahead of us. But we're heading to the hotel. That's where we're going to meet him. That's where he's going to be picking us up in the morning to go hunting. It's 66 degrees at 3:40 p.m. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be a little tough. But the cool thing is I'll be hanging out with a couple buddies, and that's the most important thing. Hopefully we'll get lucky and get a deer. But if not, we'll have a good time one way or the other.
I pull up to the hotel and I hear somebody yelling. Something, I don't even remember what he was yelling. It wasn't good. I look up and it's Jonathan. He's already beat me there and he's giving me a hard time already.
That's Fred Eichler. That guy owes me money.
What's up, Jonathan?
Get away. Stop that guy in the camo.
You could probably get arrested for yelling out of a window like that. It's not safe.
Hey, we're coming down. Get the money out.
Great. This is gonna be a rough week. My buddy Tracy shows up to meet us. He's a great guy, a lot of fun. He's a retired game warden, but Tracy is there and we're talking about the hunt I did with him 2 years ago. I had a great time. I shot 2 beautiful does and he said, Fred, this time, man, I'd really appreciate if you'd shoot a buck. And I said, Tracy, you know me, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. First 2 deer that come by in range, I'm probably gonna be trying to take them.
Well, got to the hotel and Tracy's driving me and Jonathan around, kind of showing us a little bit of country right now. Looks awesome. I wish we were in a stand already. We've already seen 1 deer. Pretty country, Tracy.
Yeah, it's pretty good country.
Well, the first night we got to Kansas, Tracy drove me and Jonathan around to take a look. We saw quite a few deer. I was getting pretty excited. We saw bucks, we saw does, just driving around the country.
That's awesome. So there's another deer. We've already seen 3 or 4 bucks just driving around.
I wouldn't dull a broadhead on that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let him come by me, buddy. It'll be back straps right there. Alrighty. No, got everything I need. And yes, I have trashed the hotel room. Trying to get organized, but got a lot of gear for this trip, like every trip. And yes, I shaved. I think that's gonna bring me some good luck. I was getting a little scruffy. I still kind of need a haircut, but shave's gonna have to work. All right, so Tracy's supposed to pick us up in a little bit. I know Jonathan's ready to go. We're gonna hop in his truck, head out to the same area we saw all those deer yesterday, so I'm pretty excited.
The very first morning, and Tracy had warned us, there's some cows in this pasture and they may cruise by. Well, we're sitting in the tree stand and sure enough, here comes a bunch of cows. Well, they cruise by and they stop and they're just hanging out right by us. I know cows are curious. I have my own cows in Colorado, but I don't like them to hang out right underneath my white-tailed deer stand. So I decided I'm gonna get down and run them off. So I get down, I kind of run the cows off. I'm still on the ground and I look up and there's a whitetail buck. I spooked a whitetail buck while I was trying to run the cows off. Oh well. So first year in Kansas, My bad, I ran him away. Then we saw a 10-point cruise around behind us. That was awesome because you could tell the rut was on in Kansas and we were timing it just perfect. When we meet back up with Jonathan and Tracy, of course, Jonathan's got a story. He's already taken a doe. Way to go, man. Congratulations. First day in Kansas.
First thing this morning.
That's not too shabby.
No.
Oh, she's pretty.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Beautiful.
She came in.
Very first morning, right out of the gate, Jonathan's got one down. I'm a little jealous because that whitetail looks fat and tasty, and Jonathan has got one on the board. Nice shooting, Jonathan.
How old is that tractor, Tracy?
This, I think it's 2010.
Team Jonathan is on the board. I say team, that's because he's got a split personality. There's two of them.
You said we wouldn't talk about that. Wait, stop. No, wait, stop.
Oh, he was on the board with the first deer. Tracy actually had bucks. We had bucks. There was deer all over the place in Kansas, so we're gonna keep at him. Gonna go set up to a new spot now, huh?
Good morning.
Oh, it's a great morning.
Still our first day in Kansas. This is our evening spot Tracy took us to. It's a beautiful little creek run along behind us.
Well, the next morning was slow. We couldn't believe it. After seeing all those deer the day before, we had nothing come by that morning. We knew there were deer in the area, so we weren't willing to give up on that great spot. That evening, it was overcast, really just a dark, dreary day. Just about dusk, I started rattling and a buck comes running in. I get pretty excited as this buck's coming by. I draw back with my recurve, pick a spot, and smoke this deer.
Did you hear that? He came in right into that rattling. That was awesome. I mean, I had just got done grunting a few times. I rattled, and then here he came off this hill over here, circled. I had to spin all the way around. I had to pick the bow up and come around. He came around his ear and was coming to the left. He ran up and through there. Let's just ease out here. It's gonna be chilly tonight. If we need to let him sit, we'll let him sit. But it looked right. It looked good. He was quartered away. That was awesome. Here in Kansas, our second day, and I just shot a beautiful buck. Look at how overcast the sky is. Can you see that?
I think it's a pretty good shot, but we decided to back out, get the guys, look at the footage, and make a plan on what to do.
What do you think?
I think if I'm seeing it right, I think that's a dead deer. I think
Looked
it
good to
is.
me. It wasn't.
But that's what's nice about having, video and being able to video stuff like that, because you can go back and look at it. And that's what we did. It's always best to play it safe instead of push something that's hit bad. We've all done that, or at least I have before, made that mistake.
I never have.
Oh, I mean the jinx on him. He put the jinx on him. Get away.
So I think now that we reviewed it, it looks like it was a pretty good shot on that buck. So we're gonna probably go in there tonight and see if we can recover him. Pretty excited. Nice Kansas buck. Well, we're working out the blood trail, and one of the guys had circled around in front of us, and we hear, "Hey, got the deer!" I'm like, "Hot dog!" We walk over, and there's my beautiful Kansas buck. Man, I couldn't have been happier. It was a beautiful deer. I was pretty excited. Well, hot dog, thanks, Tracy.
You betcha.
Thanks, Jonathan.
It's a good buck.
Man, he's beautiful. There's my Kansas deer. We gave him, what, about 3 hours? We ate dinner, and he's probably only, what do you think, 150?
Tops.
Yeah, maybe 150 yards from the tree stand. But here's where he went down. There's that beautiful light colored rack. That is just a gorgeous, gorgeous deer. This is where the arrow came out right here. You can see where that Muzzy Phantom came out right here. And you know, right now this is the money buck, guys. I'm just throwing that out there since we do have the bet.
We got a couple days.
That's awesome. I could not be more tickled with that. What a night.